In the depths of the 1940s, as Europe and North America faced World War II and rationing, ingenious people developed heating techniques that, well, really defied conventional energy needs. One method, little known outside specialist circles, allowed entire houses to stay warm without consuming electricity, coal or wood. It wasn't magic, and it wasn't illegal. It was clever use of physics and household ingenuity that historians and survivalists are still fascinated by today. Understanding this method not only offers a glimpse into the resourcefulness of our ancestors, but also provides modern enthusiasts with techniques for off-grid heating in emergencies or sustainable living setups. This loophole worked because it leveraged the, often overlooked power of convection and thermal mass. The 1940s radiator loophole didn't rely on traditional fuel sources. Instead, it made full use of the physics already at play in a typical home. Standard radiators of the era were designed to circulate hot water or steam to provide localized warmth. Ingenious homeowners discovered that by carefully modifying venting, piping and placement of thermal buffers, they could create a chain reaction that transferred heat from one radiator to multiple rooms, all without additional energy input. Essentially, the trick amplified the efficiency of a single heat source by controlling airflow, enhancing convection currents and storing heat in materials that released it slowly over time. The principle is simple when you break it down. Warm air rises naturally. In many homes of the 1940s, radiators were under windows or along walls that created drafts, letting hot air escape before it could circulate. By blocking certain pathways and guiding the warm air using inexpensive channels, sometimes cardboard, sheet metal or even wood slats, homeowners could direct heat into hallways and other rooms. Coupled with heavy thermal mass objects like thick rugs, brick stoves or even jars of water placed strategically, the system stored the heat and released it gradually, evening out temperatures across a house. You can apply the same principles today with modern materials and safety considerations. While you may not need to heat an entire house without power, the principles behind this 1940s method are highly relevant for energy-conscious homes, off-grid cabins, or emergency situations. Start by identifying your primary heat source: a wood stove, small electric heater, or even a fireplace. Then focus on controlling airflow. You can use simple DIY channels like aluminum ducting cardboard funnels for temporary setups, or even reposition furniture to create guided convection pathways that carry heat into adjacent rooms. Thermal mass is another critical factor. Placing heat-retaining objects like bricks, water containers or ceramic tiles near your heat source allows energy to be absorbed and slowly radiated throughout the house. For example, in a small cabin, placing a row of water-filled glass bottles behind a radiator or stove will store warmth during the day and release it at night, reducing reliance on additional fuel. In the 1940s, people often used bricks, clay pots, or even bottles of sand for the same purpose. The trick isn't just about redirecting air. It's really about timing and control. Homeowners in the 1940s understood that a successful heat distribution system required patience and precise timing. Heat stored in thermal mass, it needs time to absorb and release energy efficiently. Opening or closing vents at the right moment was absolutely crucial. Modern survivalists, for example, can mimic this by creating adjustable channels, using doors, or placing heat-retaining objects strategically. For instance, opening internal doors when the primary heat source is running and closing them when it has burned down ensures the stored heat is retained for hours. The method also depended on balancing the system. Too much airflow in one direction could starve other rooms of heat, while too little movement could cause stagnation and, well, uneven warmth. Observing how heat moves through your space and adjusting channels, vents, or objects accordingly is part of the hands-on approach that made this 1940s loophole so effective. This system reduced fuel consumption while improving comfort. One of the most remarkable aspects of this method was its efficiency. During an era of rationing and energy shortages, households using this loophole could maintain a comfortable living environment without excessive consumption of coal, wood, or other fuels. Modern users can adopt the same mindset. Strategically directing and storing heat reduces energy use, increases comfort, and enhances sustainability. A small heat source, carefully amplified through controlled convection and thermal mass, can heat spaces that would otherwise require multiple heaters. Applying historical ingenuity improves modern preparedness. Studying these old techniques teaches lessons that are immediately applicable. Whether you're off-grid, preparing for power outages, or aiming to cut down on heating bills, understanding airflow, thermal mass, and timing can help you create efficient, safe, and reliable heat distribution systems. It's a reminder that resourcefulness and observation often yield results more powerful than technology alone. By applying principles that homeowners developed in the 1940s, we can heat homes more sustainably today while connecting with a fascinating chapter of survival and domestic engineering history. If you found this guide valuable, subscribe to the channel and share it with fellow backyard wisdom enthusiasts. Lessons like these aren't just historical curiosities. They're living techniques that can improve your comfort, preparedness, and understanding of how simple physics combined with human ingenuity can achieve extraordinary results.